Hello, I'm Essay, your AI essayist. Please note that all content, audio and video in this presentation are AI generated. As AI can sometimes produce inaccuracies, I encourage you to verify any factual information presented. With that in mind, let's begin.
1974 Michael Atiyah, Isadore Singer, The Index Theorem for Elliptic Operators. This essay undertakes a comprehensive, critical assessment of Michael Atiyah and Isadore Singer's seminal work, The Index Theorem for Elliptic Operators, published in 1974. The intention is to move past a mere summary, to provide an in-depth, section-by-section evaluation of its central claims, methodologies, and enduring contributions. This assessment will illuminate the theorem's internal coherence, examining the logical architecture supporting its conclusions, and offering an informed perspective on its lasting impact in mathematics and beyond. The goal here is to provide a dissection of specific claims rather than a historical overview or a description of its relevance. The focus is on the object itself. Section 1 Introduction and Overview of the Index Theorem, the Atiyah-Singer Index Theorem, as presented in their 1974 work, establishes a profound connection between the analytic and topological properties of elliptic operators. It is a mathematical Everest, an achievement that harmonizes the seemingly disparate realms of analysis and topology. The introduction initially establishes this overarching theme, framing the theorem's fundamental concern determining the index of an elliptic operator, a measure quantifying the difference between the dimensions of its kernel and cokernel, by a topological invariance associated with the underlying manifold and the operator itself. The paper's opening salvo, in effect, lays out the coordinates of the landscape it intends to explore. The initial descriptions highlight the historical context, recognizing the work's roots in study of differential equations and the desire to understand the qualitative behavior of solutions. A noteworthy claim advanced early on is the index, as a stable property, being independent of the choice of a specific elliptic operator within a given elliptic operators class. This sets the stage for the main project identifying a topological entity equivalent to the index. A critical reading of the introductory material suggests that the theorem is proposed as a bridge, a mathematical structure that links the analytical world of differential operators to the geometric space of algebraic topology. This initial conceptual framework, though seemingly straightforward, already contains subtle implications. The assertion that the theorem offers a precise formula for the index, expressed explicitly in terms of topological data, is a critical claim that demands rigorous examination. It proposes a level of precision that, if proven, would represent a significant advancement in the understanding of elliptic operators. Section 2 Elliptic Operators and the Index. This section delves into the technical underpinnings. The paper launches into the definition of elliptic operators, explaining their properties in terms of their symbols and principal symbols. A key aspect of the paper resides in the careful characterization of the symbol, a function defined on the cotangent bundle that captures the principal part of the differential operator. The elliptic condition is explained as a non-degeneracy requirement on the symbol, essentially, that the symbol, viewed as a function, must be invertible outside of the zero section of the cotangent bundle. The section then proceeds to define the index itself. The index of an elliptic operator is defined as the difference between the dimension of its kernel and the dimension of its cokernel. The kernel, in this context, is the space of solutions to the homogeneous equation, while the cokernel can be characterized as the quotient space of the range. A pivotal assertion put forward in this section is the finiteness of the index. Proving this presents a challenge. The argument relies on a deep interplay between functional analysis and the operator's regularity properties. The claim implicitly suggests that the index is a well-defined, finite measure of the obstruction to the operator being surjective. An assessment of this section reveals the careful selection of definitions. The authors build up a mathematical foundation that, if successful, will allow them to transition from the analytic domain, defined by operator theory, into the topological Section 3, the symbol and its topological invariance. Here, the paper begins to connect the analytical with the topological. The symbol of an elliptic operator, previously defined within a purely analytic framework, is now cast as a crucial link between the analytic properties of the operator and the topological characteristics of the underlying manifold. The core of the claim here resides in the idea that the symbol, viewed appropriately, carries topological information about the operator. The authors introduce the notion of the symbol class. The symbol, being a function, is capable of giving rise to an object in K-theory. This is a non-trivial assertion, as it requires demonstrating the symbol's compatibility with the algebraic structure of K-theory. The central focus is to demonstrate how the symbol can be associated with an element in the K-theory group of the cotangent bundle. The construction of this element is a vital piece of the puzzle. The choice of K-theory, a particular branch of topology dealing with vector bundles, has intrinsic meaning. The paper asserts that K-theory provides a suitable framework to encode the topological information associated with the symbol. The authors carefully explain the construction of the K-theory class associated with this symbol, highlighting its dependence on the symbol's ellipticity and the choice of a specific manifold. A critical examination of the paper's treatment of the symbol demands that one understands K-theory, vector bundles, and the classification of these particular bundles. The assertion that the symbol determines a well-defined element of the relevant K-theory group is fundamental. It serves as a bridge and an assurance that the topological invariants are being successfully extracted from the analytic data. Section 4. The Chern character and the index formula. This section represents the culmination of the argument where the analytic index is finally linked to topological invariants. The authors introduce the Chern character, a homomorphism from K-theory to rational cohomology. The Chern character, when applied to the K-theory class associated with the symbol, yields a differential form on the manifold. The critical claim hinges on the theorem, which states that the index of the elliptic operator can be calculated by integrating the Chern character over the manifold together with the Todd class. The assertion of this integration yields a finite number. The precise integer of the index is a complex, nuanced statement. The index, considered analytically, is determined by the number of linearly independent solutions and the obstruction to surjectivity. The authors claim that this can be expressed through topological data, through the Chern characters and the Todd class. This represents the crux of the index theorem. A careful look at the details shows that the proof depends on several key ingredients. One crucial element involves the Atiyah-Singer proof of the heat equation method. This approach uses the heat kernel of the operator to relate the index to an integral of local information. The authors make the explicit connection to the heat equation method to support their claims. The argument in this section is a complex interplay of analysis and topology. Several steps need careful examination. The properties of the Chern character, the Todd class, and the relationship between the K-theory class and the symbol are crucial to establishing the theorem's validity. The claim is that the index can be explicitly calculated via integration. This calculation is the theorem itself. Section 5. Examples and applications. This section seeks to illuminate the theorem's implications through concrete examples. The authors show how the index theorem can be applied to various specific elliptic operators to arrive at familiar results, such as the Gauss-Bonnet theorem for surfaces and the Herzebrecht signature theorem. The illustrative examples are critical to establishing the theorem's scope and significance. The claim is that the index theorem provides a powerful unifying tool. The authors argue that the theorem demonstrates that diverse mathematical results are specific instances of a single overarching principle. The application of the index theorem to the Gauss-Bonnet theorem is particularly illuminating. The authors demonstrate, through the choice of the appropriate elliptic operator, how the index theorem recovers the familiar formula relating the curvature of a surface to its Euler characteristic. This serves as a crucial test instance of the theorem's validity. The presentation's examples often involve the Dirac operator. The Dirac operator is central. It is a fundamental operator that encapsulates geometric information about the underlying manifold. The authors use the Dirac operator to formulate the index theorem in a clear manner. The examples are not merely illustrations, they serve as proofs that showcase the theorem itself. The authors directly provide results that support and strengthen the main claims. The inclusion of examples, though they may appear ancillary, serves to reinforce the theorem's practical utility. Section 6. The elliptic, complex, and generalizations. The paper then moves to a more general framework. The authors expand the scope of the index theorem by introducing their concept of an elliptic complex. This defines a sequence of differential operators, interconnected by a specific algebraic structure. The assertion is that the index theorem can be generalized to this broader setting, which offers a richer view of elliptic operators. The claim resides on the idea that more complex problems can be handled using these tools. The definition of an elliptic complex is carefully stated, including the requirement that the operators are elliptic and the algebraic structure of the complex. The definition, in essence, provides a template for a wider range of problems. The subsequent sections present the generalized index theorem, establishing a formula for the index of an elliptic complex in terms of topological invariance associated with a complex symbol. The paper proceeds to examine the case of families of elliptic operators, where the operators are parameterized by a parameter space. The authors present an index theorem appropriate for families of operators. The theorem is relevant to the study of the moduli spaces of solutions to certain differential equations, a concept that carries significance. The claim is that these generalizations extend the index theorem's reach. The authors demonstrate that the index theorem is not an isolated result, but rather a lens through which to view a vast realm of mathematical problems. The assertion here is that the index theorem offers a common framework. Section 7. Proof techniques and methodological considerations. This section turns towards the methodologies used to prove the theorem, which included early work in analysis and topology. The authors make use of the heat equation method, a powerful tool for relating the index of an elliptic operator to the asymptotic behavior of the heat kernel associated with the operator. The authors present a complete proof within their framework and show that the theorem is internally coherent. The core of their approach involves the use of the Atiyah heat equation method. The authors employ techniques from functional analysis to establish the necessary results. In addition to the heat equation method, the authors use the concepts of pseudodifferential operators and their calculus. This allows them to analyze the symbol of the elliptic operator in greater detail. The authors present the proof in several stages, carefully breaking down their argument into manageable steps. The primary focus is the heat equation method. The author's attention to detail is also noteworthy. They carefully define all of the terms involved and provide complete arguments. The author's claims are thoroughly vetted. Section 8. Reception and influence. The theorem's lasting legacy. The final sections, more or less, trace the impact of the theorem. The authors indicate, with a sense of humility, that the index theorem had a profound effect on subsequent mathematics. The theorem revolutionized the study of index theory and established new concepts and techniques. The authors acknowledge that the theorem continues to evolve within a specific field. An assessment of the theorem's reception should include a careful review of its place in modern mathematics. The index theorem had a significant influence on the development of mathematical physics. The results influenced string theory and gauge theory. The theorem has been extended to many other areas, including non-commutative geometry. It is a starting point for many modern Section 9. Critical evaluation and conclusion. The Atiyah index theorem is a profound achievement. The work presents a fully formed mathematical object, a synthesis of analytical and topological ideas that has had a lasting influence. The author's claims are well supported. Each assertion derives directly from a definition, theorem, or a logical component of the underlying framework. The work is not without limitations. The theorem's proof is highly technical, calling for a great deal of background knowledge. Some applications may be difficult to grasp. However, the elegance of the theorem overshadows any perceived complexity. It is a monument, a triumph of the mathematical spirit. The theorem has had a far-reaching impact. It opened up new avenues for research in both pure and applied mathematics. It has influenced our understanding of geometry, topology, and analysis. Its influence continues to grow. The index theorem remains a cornerstone of modern mathematics. The theorem's enduring significance lies in its ability to connect seemingly disparate mathematical ideas. It remains, to this day, a source of inspiration. The Atiyah index theorem stands as a testament to the power of mathematical thought. The work continues to impact research and serves as an exemplar of mathematical beauty. The theorem is an exceptional achievement.
We really appreciate you tuning in to this AI-powered presentation. Our goal is to push the boundaries of AI in content creation, and your input is invaluable. If there's a particular subject you'd like to see us tackle next, or if you have suggestions on how we could fine-tune our AI's creative prompts, please don't hesitate to leave your ideas in the comments section. We're excited to bring you more unique content very soon.